they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know how brown the baby gonna be. Oh, wow. Wow.
In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi. Woo. But not too far.
What?
The biggest addiction in America is attention. We are addicted to attention. Can't get enough attention. We used to want love. Now we just want likes.
You want love. Used to want love. Now all we want is likes. We want people to like us. It's so true.
No more following Granny's rules.
You sure about that?
If I want to play polo in my living room, who's gonna stop me?
Stop that.
Right away, Megs.
Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things. After 6 episodes, I wanted to attack them.
Meghan said that she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding. Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch 2 married people get married.
Harry says, how do you explain to someone who's just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother?
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird.
Maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the Queen, and you're in the royal family.
Trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
When Chris Rock stepped onto that Netflix stage and went after Meghan Markle, you could feel it. This wasn't harmless comedy. This was a public verdict. And if you want to know how their fairy tale crumbled, it comes down to 3 brutal hits. Chris Rock's takedown that ripped apart the heart of their story, the wave of savage mockery from the entertainment world that followed, and the undeniable proof hidden in their own ridiculous statements.
You made homemade strawberry jam. It's kind of like a doctor when you keep referring to them as doctor, like, call me Susan. You know, like, I would never refer to myself as Her Royal Highness.
Is it a bad look for Meghan to still refer to herself as a royal?
No, it's not.
There you are.
Because,
Wake me up when you're done.
Thank you.
Sure, most comedians were just chasing laughs, but one wasn't. Bill Maher came swinging with something deeper, a reality check disguised as humor.
What do you think of them?
This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
That is so beautiful.
No.
They're ridiculous.
She never stops whining.
Meghan Markle Googled, is the race card an actual card?
I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers. Slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband.
Your voice is driving me crazy and I'm about to jump over there and put my fists down your throat.
I think the woke have been asleep.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
You're complaining about your hard life and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
His breakdown is so revealing you have to see it to believe it. But first we start where the walls began to crack. Chris Rock's Netflix special, where he zeroed in on Meghan's most unbelievable claim on Oprah, that she had no idea about the royal family. Rock didn't just question it, he laughed it straight out of the room.
On Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these?
This is the biggest complaint she gets. You didn't Google these mother effers? How do you not Google these people? How do you not know the history of the royal family? And he's gonna lay into them even further.
What the is she talking about? She didn't know. They're the original racists.
The crowd went wild, but Rock wasn't just tossing out a cheap laugh. He was setting a trap. With that fake smile and over-the-top sarcasm, he pretended to agree with Meghan, only to flip it and make her claim look downright absurd.
What the is she talking about? She didn't know. It's the royal family. They're the original racists.
After tearing apart the nonsense in her story, Rock dropped a short, savage analogy that hit like a punch to the face. So clear and brutal that everyone instantly got it.
It's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot. This invested in slavery like it was shark.
With her I didn't know excuse blown to pieces, Rock went straight for her next big complaint. He didn't call it racism, he called it something way smaller, way pettier, and a whole lot less dramatic than she wanted people to believe.
Some of that she went through was not racism. It was just some in-law
But his hardest hit went straight for their most explosive claim: the royal family's supposed panic over the baby's skin color. With one sharp, almost casual observation, he didn't just question it, he wiped their entire accusation off the table.
I wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know.
The hit was ruthless, and the message couldn't be clearer. Rock was done playing nice, but he was only the opening shot in a full-blown comedy war.
That man loves me so much, and you know, look what we built. We've built a beautiful life, and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. If you haven't noticed, my husband's very, very handsome.
It's so fake.
Like, this can't be real.
Oh, he's such a great partner.
It sucks.
Are you joking?
It's bad. This is terrible.
You suck. You suck.
I feel that.
What? Stop.
All of it is fake.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I don't like it. Just talking nonsense. It's stupid.
Right, I feel that every day in how supportive he's been. He's also a fox.
You're ugly.
It's weird, right?
I get another lecture from you, I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking idiot.
Soon, it felt like every satirist on Earth was lining up to take a swing. The attacks came from everywhere, and the first wave British satire went straight for the jugular, ripping apart their shiny new American dream.
I'm here to tell my truth and make a shit ton of money out of podcasting, as I don't have any discernible talent.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s. Wow.
It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
As author Kirby Summers suggested, that the then Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament. She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
You know, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
That smile's a little bit over the top. And that single shoulder shrug she has, that usually indicates that person isn't very confident with their answer or their statement.
The British puppet show didn't hold back. It turned Harry into a perfect caricature of pure laziness. A clueless prince completely disconnected from the real world.
Harry, you're such a moderate achiever. How do you stay at the top of the middle of your game?
An early start's important, so my butler Perkins gets up at 5 a.m. and does a 10K for...
The show mocked him as still clinging to the royal status he swore he'd walked away from, proving he never really let it go.
Then when he gets in, he wakes me up and Googles to see if I'm still 5th in line to the throne.
5th in line?
Yeah, if Kate and Wills have any more kids, I'll move down another notch.
They tore into their huge Netflix deal, calling it nothing more than a greedy cash grab dressed up as a noble project.
What about television? Do you have a Netflix account?
Yeah. It's got about $9 million in it.
Mamalado!
And of course, they roasted their blatant hypocrisy begging for privacy, while shoving themselves into every camera they could find.
In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi. Woo! But not too far.
While British satire ripped into their new life, American late-night shows had been clowning them for years. Saturday Night Live, for example, kept a recurring sketch of the two princes. That always kicked off by mocking their painfully awkward, almost cringe-worthy relationship.
Michael, we like to apologize. Unfortunately, William's hair was unable to make it this evening.
The skits always painted Harry as the clueless, slower brother, the one who could never quite keep up with the rest.
How was the Quidditch match, Ron Beasley?
Who's Ron Beasley?
The redhead one.
It's Ron Weasley.
Oh, I don't know. Who cares? Nobody
Everyone
knows.
cares.
Nobody knows
Harry
that.
Potter makes up half of England's economy, man.
And it always ended the same. Harry taking a cheap shot at William. William actually getting mad. And Harry scrambling to backpedal and smooth things over before it blew up.
Come on, just shave it, Wills.
Okay, just shut up about the hair.
What hair? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I made him mad. I love you.
The show kept a running joke that Meghan's big Suits career was nothing special, basically hinting nobody really cared.
My brother's fiance, Miss Meghan Markle, is on the American program Suits.
Yes.
The only difference between that show and this is people watch this.
They even joked that Suits was so dull it could replace sleeping pills.
Whenever the kids are being fussy and not going to bed, she puts on an episode of Suits and they're out. So, what are you doing? Ow!
Stop! This turned into a go-to joke on on late night TV, with hosts like Colin Jost openly mocking how fast their value and relevance was crashing.
Trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two. NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant. Build electric cars, he's going to Mars. Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
Others, like Jimmy Fallon, went after weird moments from her own Netflix show, Love, Meghan, pointing out a bizarre habit that left viewers confused and cringing.
Why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags? They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
Another bag.
And that confuses people.
Fallon also ripped into their bizarre claim that they got married before the real royal wedding, making it sound shady and downright unbelievable.
Meghan said that she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding. Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch two married people get married.
But the mockery got downright weird after Harry and Meghan quit royal life. Madame Tussauds in London yanked their wax figures from the royal family display, and Conan O'Brien ran a whole bit imagining ridiculous places they might have ended up.
I was curious what they did with Harry and Meghan's wax figures, so I found a museum employee who's temporarily storing them.
He brought on a museum employee character who was disturbingly obsessed with the wax figures creepy enough to make the audience laugh and squirm at the same time.
Oliver, you have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex.
The skit wrapped with a punchline so weird and uncomfortable, it left the audience laughing and cringing at the same time.
They are in a loving home, and I treat them better than the museum ever did. They didn't appreciate Meghan's soft hands or Harry's supple lips.
When the mockery jumps from pro comedians to online creators, you know the story's spiraling. Influencers started roasting exact scenes from her Love, Meghan show, like the one where Mindy Kaling calls her Meghan Markle, and Meghan awkwardly, almost smugly, corrects her with her new name.
My name is Megan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
They also mocked her constant habit of dropping celebrity names, people who, let's be honest, might not even be real friends.
Mindy and I are such great friends, like besties. Like, I love her. Like, she doesn't know my name, but we're best friends.
And of course, they couldn't resist mocking that infamous scene from her Netflix lifestyle show, where she randomly rebagged snacks for absolutely no reason at all.
Take the snack out of one bag and then move them into another bag and then label this new bag.
The mockery had flooded every corner of entertainment puppets, late night hosts, influencers, you name it. But those TV-friendly digs were nothing compared to the stand-up stage. Comedians like Simon Brodkin didn't just tease, they went for the jugular, saying the couple's own Netflix documentary was what made him fully turn against them.
I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs, but now I've actually heard their side of the story, I hate them.
For him, it was the tiny, smug details that pushed him over the edge, like their cringe. Corporate-style nicknames that felt painfully fake and nowhere near genuine.
Making interesting points about racism and misogyny. Then they start calling each other H&M, and I just thought, oh, do off.
He couldn't believe how they spun totally normal royal traditions like a simple curtsy into some overblown, traumatic event, as if they'd survived a war.
Harry says, how do you explain to someone who's just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother?
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird.
Maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the queen and you're in the royal family.
But Brodkin didn't just rip on their whining, he went for the jugular, targeting the very foundation of their marriage and saying out loud the ultimate taboo thought everyone else was only whispering.
Then how to break this, Jew, H. But if you weren't in the royal family, M wouldn't be with you.
And Harry's own cringeworthy wording in his book handed comedians like Brodkin even more ammo, making him come across as out of touch, awkward, and just plain silly.
Describing this one date with Meghan as the night, let me quote you here, me and M pulled the pin on a fun grenade. I actually started rooting for Prince Andrew.
But for Brodkin and plenty of others, the breaking point was hearing multimillionaires whining about paying for their own security. That single complaint wiped out whatever sympathy they had left.
Blaming that to pay for their own security. They were not happy about that. Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things. After 6 episodes, I wanted to attack.
The stand-up world had delivered the raw, emotional beatdown, but the cold, calculated takedown from Bill Maher was still waiting. First, the final act of public humiliation had to unfold, and the cartoonists were ready to finish the job. And when it comes to savage cartoon mockery, nothing tops South Park. They devoted a whole episode, the Worldwide Privacy Tour, to tearing them apart. Kicking off by roasting Harry's memoir and his whiny claims about having a hard life.
And I don't think it's being mean. He's not being mean. Like, she should be able to laugh at this. But given how we saw her reaction to South Park, I don't know how she's going to be able to do that. Now,
Oh, let me start with you, sir. You've lived a life with the royal family. You've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where?
The cartoon interviewer then called out Meghan, grilling her on how she chases the same fame she loudly pretends to hate.
Just want to be normal people. All this attention is so hard. Isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines?
The show paints the prince as totally blind to the hypocrisy, rushing to defend his Instagram-obsessed wife, and only making himself look even more ridiculous.
What are you suggesting? Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy. How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy.
It all builds to the episode's most savage and unforgettable moment. The couple zooming around the world on a private jet, screaming for privacy through megaphones, a scene that nailed exactly how the public sees them.
The hell with Canada! We are leaving! We'll go find some quiet place where we can be normal people! Come on, wife! We want privacy! We want privacy!
The punchline to their whole privacy tour lands when they finally settle in a perfectly normal, quiet home, only to look baffled, proving it was never privacy they wanted at all, but non-stop attention.
At this town, there's just something about it. Oh, darling, I think this might be the place. It's so quiet and empty here. If we moved here, then people would think we're really serious about wanting to be
While South Park gave their hypocrisy a full storyline.
Okay, I see. And then you added your husband to your friends and family account. You must be the Royal Prince Millionaire World Traveler victim.
Shows like Family Guy went for quick, savage drive-by shots.
That's fine, I'll go it alone. Just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
To them, the Sussexes had become the ultimate symbol of cashing in, whether it was Netflix millions or cringeworthy sponsored posts for doing absolutely nothing.
Your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of
The joke cuts even deeper when the show imagines Harry himself starting to regret walking away from all the made-up nonsense.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
The real sting of becoming a cartoon is when the joke version starts to feel like the truth. But as savage as these animated hits were, they were just echoing the source material.
I feel like the focus is starting to shift off of me. Maybe in editing you'll fix it.
Let me grab this part.
Fuck. Ooh, sorry, that's all he says.
Stop!
And that finally brings us to Bill Maher's verdict. What made his take stand out is that he wasn't just chasing laughs. He was handing down a cold, philosophical judgment. He skipped the petty mistakes and went straight for the core problem. In their whole public image, their shameless, hypocritical desire to have it both ways.
They're ridiculous after that. They want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us, poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want it.
Oh my gosh, look at all these photos about last night. ... Thank you, Beyonce and team, for an amazing concert and a very fun date night. All love. Girl, she didn't invite you to the concert.
She wants all of the privileges that go along with an identity, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want to do any of the work. She wants the tiara. She doesn't want the public service.
He then slammed their nonstop whining by comparing it to the quiet strengths of the one person who actually knew the weight of royal life, the late Queen Elizabeth.
Just fragile. Just take a hint from the Queen, the recently departed.
Never complain, never explain, and rarely be heard speaking in public.
For Maher, this was the ultimate disconnect watching insanely privileged people beg for sympathy over a life most could only dream of living.
You're complaining about your hard life and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous. I totally.
And finally, he nailed what might be the most irritating part of their whole act, the smug demand that the entire world go along with their personal drama and fragile worldview.
And I will not bend the knee and just go along with the nonsense. That's what's so annoying about them. The most of all, they insist that you go along with their nonsense and their insanity and their fragility.
And that right there is the whole problem. Bill Maher's verdict wasn't about a couple of bad interviews or one flop Netflix deal. It was a diagnosis of an entire mindset that's completely broken. Strip away the noise, and this was never just about Chris Rock or one comedy special. It's a raw, modern warning about authenticity in the digital age. You can't wage war on the media while clawing for its spotlight. You can't sell a sob story when you're living in luxury. Eventually, the contradictions get too big to hide. And when that happens, the court of public opinion, with comedians as the loudest judges, will deliver the sentence. The laughter in all these clips isn't the cause of their downfall. It's the sound of a story people stop buying. So here's the real question. After all the blunders, the ridicule, and the wounds they gave themselves, can Harry and Meghan ever bounce back? Or are they now forever defined by the punchlines? Tell us what you think in the comments.